Now is the time to proclaim the cessation of wars and world peace to the global community. 2014 September. The family members of peace around the world gathered at the Republic of Korea. The whole world paid attention to this event, which was the first of its kind. For the first time in history, people from all sectors and levels of society around the world gathered in one place for the purpose of peace. The protagonists of peace enter the festival of peace to which the heavens and the earth are called as witnesses. IPYG, with its branch offices around the world, IWPG, which embraces the global community with the mother's heart, and religious leaders, former and current heads of state and first ladies, UN representatives, chief justices, and other world leaders entered through the gate of peace, together with the two hosts.
Today, the spirits in heaven and people on earth are gathered here to witness this unprecedented event in human history.
Beginning with Mr. Lee's Declaration of World Peace proclaimed at the Peace Gate in the Republic of Korea, the waves of world peace spread throughout the world, and finally today, we have come to bear the fruit of peace here in this place.
اليوم كوريا سطرت في التاريخ ان هي بلد سلام، بلد تسامح، وادعي للعالم كله ان نفس اللي مخطوطه الجمهوريه الكوريه الجنوبيه، ادعو العالم نفسه ياخذوا المغادي ويبادلون. يعني اليوم المشاركين انا اللي حسب علمي 170 دوله.
The nation of peace created through heavenly culture is now being presented before the eyes of the world. The new generation of peace has begun at the scene of the World Alliance of Religions Peace Summit. With this event as a start, the Republic of Korea is now recorded in world's history as a nation of peace. The answer for peace that you have been seeking is here. (2014) September 18th. Warp Summit Day 3. The cloud surrounding the 63 Square in Yeouido is mysterious and extraordinary. God, the spirits, and the family members of the global community are present at the scene of the Warp Summit every day. This is the true Hall of Peace where 4,000 distinguished guests from political, social, legal, religious, and cultural sectors gathered for the cessation of wars and world peace. It is not easy to have this many leaders from different religions and nationalities gathered in one location. The participants of this special opportunity had no time to divert their attention elsewhere, as they were busy getting acquainted with other guests.
We're living in a very special time, number one. This time, the fact that we're all together, so many people, so many different religions, and all sitting together, that in itself is a miracle.
It's a pleasure to join this summit. It was grateful, impressive. It was more than sometimes United Nations can do to bring all the religions and all the religions leader to here in South Korea in this center. It's a great honor.
Es un excelente hombre por lo que está haciendo y de poder reunir a tantas naciones juntas con un solo propósito que es la paz, y queremos nosotros aportar como mexicanos también y poder extender ese mensaje de paz que él está trayendo.
Yo creo que estamos muy contentos de estar en esta reunión y yo creo que este es un gran comienzo a las muchas soluciones que hay para la paz mundial.
How will the hope of peace, echoing with one voice with sincere hearts, be achieved? The welcome remarks by Mr. Lee, the peace advocate hosting the Warp Summit, marked the official beginning of the dialogue for peace.
Today, we greet the dawn of the most important era in our world's history. We stand at a junction. Will humanity and our world choose the path that leads to peace or the path leading to destruction? Today, if we gather our hearts, wars and destruction can be brought to an end, and the peace for which all creation has longed can be achieved. This will become a legacy we leave to all future generations, something remembered for eternity. We must recognize and act according to the times in which we find ourselves. Let us immerse ourselves in peace and become the agents through which peace can be achieved.
Ms. Kim emphasized that people of religion should take part in the work of peace more than anyone else.
It would not be an overstatement to say that wars stem from religions, for there are hundreds of different religions, each with their own scripture that asserts its own will and action. Everything in nature has a beginning and an end, and in the scriptures there are prophecies and fulfillment. The fulfillment that occurred according to the prophecies and the prophecies themselves serve as the most concrete evidence that confirms the existence of God who created religion. If there were no prophecies and fulfillment, then how would one begin his search for that God? Let us find true peace according to the will of the one Creator as we share with one another the prophecies and fulfillment found in each scripture. The words in the scripture will be our path that leads us to the only Creator. Dear religious leaders, let us unite under the name of peace and offer religion back to God, the true author of religion. Let us not conform to the ways of evil, but let us put an end to corruption and work together for restoration.
Topic of the first speech of former heads of state, religious leader, and great scholars of the world is religious conflict and peace.
That religion has always been abused and will be always abused if we let it be, because it is the interests that rule the world, and it is very, very difficult not to allow those interests to lead us to wars. And our task is very, very difficult. This is a small pebble in a big mosaic, and we have to work on it every day. So I believe that this meeting has the purpose and will have results in the future.
I witnessed yesterday, being in Seoul, you have shown that Seoul has the soul of peace. It's not mere a land, but a piece of land is Seoul, Korea. When I was listening to the Honorable Prime Minister and our young leader here, both taking the names of all these heads of the countries, it looked to me that we are here today sitting like in United Nations. I am very happy to tell you, when I saw this organization, amazing volunteers, incredible, beautiful, devotion and dedication never seen. Even the United Nations have to spend so much money to bring this much peace in the crowd. You have to have so much police. So many people patrolling outside of you if there is any violence, but there was no violent touch. There was a velvet touch of love, peace and harmony. I'm very happy I came. Very happy I came when I saw the love of the people in the name of peace. We are gathered in the pubs and clubs, but here we were not gathered, we were together in the name of peace, in the name of love.
It is a great honor and privilege for me to be here at this August religious gathering. This gives us the opportunity of a meeting like-minded, pious, devoted religious leaders who are working together toward a common ground of peace, security, harmony, and coexistence for all religions. Therefore, the world today is badly in need of peace, harmony, and coexistence. This is a great challenge for the political leader, spiritual leader, and religious leader. We all have to accept it, to prepare ourselves how we can help mitigate tension and conflict by power of virtue of a noble teaching of our respected religion.
ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸੂਰਜ ਏਕੋ ਰੁੱਤ ਅਨੇਕ, ਇੱਕ ਸੂਰਜ ਇੱਕ ਧਰਤੀ ਅਨੇਕਾਂ ਰੁੱਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਭਿੰਨਤਾ ਪੈਦਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਾਦਰ ਨੇ ਮਨੁੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਅਨੇਕਾਂ ਰੰਗਾਂ, ਨਸਲਾਂ, ਧਰਮਾਂ, ਬੋਲੀਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਸਿਰਜਿਆ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਵਿਭਿੰਨਤਾ ਨੂੰ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਦਾਤ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਕਬੂਲਣ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਵਿਸ਼ਵ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਮੰਦਰ ਢਾਹ, ਮਸੀਤਾਂ ਢਾਹ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਢਹਿੰਦਾ, ਪਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਨਾ ਢਾਈ, ਦਿਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿਲਬਰ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
And for me, this is the first conference that I see that can gather all these people. They are calling for love. This is without any interfere of the formal, authority. That is accessible of NGOs. So, to make alliance of people, not alliance just of religions, because I said, and I like the point that Mr. Lee yesterday talked about, it's one religion. Yes, we one religion. We all believe on one God. We need to spread the feeling of love, of peace, of tolerance.
The keynote speeches concerning the first topic ended, but the press's fervor in covering these stories did not subside. The international community suffered from recent wars. The world intently focuses on this event to see what kind of measures the leaders of each sector gathered in the Republic of Korea will present. On the topic of cessation of wars and world peace, the second main session included presentation based on real-world scenarios.
Por quien estamos todos aquí reunidos, llevemos un mensaje de unidad que tenga consecuencias en todos los pueblos del mundo. Les diré que debemos llenar nuestras vidas en esta cumbre. Por favor, llevemos el espíritu de esta cumbre, llevémoslo a nuestras familias, llevémoslo a nuestros pueblos, a nuestros países, y que vivamos en comprensión, en armonía, en caridad entre unos y otros.
The following is a testimony of Archbishop Antonio Ledesma, who requested help from Mr. Lee to end the conflict in Mindanao, Philippines.
I myself, a leader in the Catholic Church, am a witness to the great work that Mr. Lee and his organization has been actively doing in my country of the Philippines, in the southern island of Mindanao. Despite the ongoing cultural, religious conflict in Mindanao,
and its reputation for being one of the most dangerous places in Southeast Asia for foreigners to visit, Mr. Lee was undeterred in pursuing peace in this war-torn part of the Philippines. Mr. Lee approached the problem in Mindanao in an innovative way, marked with boldness and faith in the work of peace. Rather than focusing on the negative and obvious differences between Christian and Muslim communities, he was able to highlight each side's desire for a peaceful and united Mindanao. This resulted in an interfaith forum where both sides signified their desire to sign a declaration of peace. This initial declaration was witnessed by many youth and ultimately resulted in a peace walk demonstration signifying that a new era of a peaceful Mindanao has appeared on the horizon. Mr. Lee's relentless pursuit of peace has brought us together here to become allies and messengers of peace.
Next is the keynote speech of a strong and active supporter of Mr. Lee's peace movements, the former president, Emil Constantinescu.
Culture of peace able to create a space of knowledge and understanding through cooperation and mutual respect. The possibility of a genuine interreligious dialogue is conditioned precisely by a mutual understanding and assuming of a common heritage. Still, the political leader as well as the simple citizen cannot ignore the social importance of governance through temperance, virtue, and moderation, core values of the religion morality. If we want to achieve a true peace and understanding between people, we should focus not on the lowest common denominator, but to relate to the highest common denominator, to God inspiring us all, no matter the name we give Him in our language or in our faith.
The venue was filled with inspiration and hope after the world's renowned figures concluded their keynote speeches. Mr. Lee, who has the answer for peace, clearly presented the role of religion for mankind in his keynote speech.
When we take a look at religion and the world, religion belongs to heaven and the world belongs to the earth. The leaders of religion must know religion to teach religion. I compared many different scriptures, the Bible of Christianity, the Holy Scriptures of Buddhism, and many more. Among all the scriptures, it is the Christian Bible which has the most prophecies written in it and the most prophecies fulfilled. If the time of destruction were to come upon mankind, who will be the ones that can save mankind? It would be the religious leaders. People of religion must achieve the unity of religions for the sake of religion and mankind. Shouldn't the people of religion act according to God's will to dwell with God? The heavens will recognize when the people of religion are truly united for the sake of mankind and the world. Everyone, let us all do God's work with the same heart.
Ms. Kim, who has always joined Mr. Lee's peace movements, testified to the specific changes suggested in the peace agreement.
The most important thing we must do to bring wars to an end and achieve world peace is to promise each other that we will have the same determination to achieve peace. When Mr. Lee embarked on his journey for peace, the first thing he did was to search for like-minded messengers of peace. He pleaded to all people alike, people he met during his 14 journeys around the world, that if we all become messengers of peace, then it is possible to achieve world peace in our generation. As a result, many people began to agree and support Mr. Lee's message, and they promised to become brothers and sisters of peace, transcending races, religions, ideologies, and nations. Moreover, to display a more realistic unity, all nations have gathered in the Republic of Korea and are about to hold a signing ceremony to become one family under the heavenly culture that transcends all things. Like a small seed, the effects of the agreement we make today may not show immediately, but just as a seed is planted and grows, when promises meet with more promises, it will become a powerful force that shifts the whole world into peace. Realistically, this single piece of paper bridges nations with other nations, creating a united religion, destroying social class, and moreover smashing the wall of prejudice. I hope we can all gather our hearts so that we can take part in the promise of the peace agreement.
약속으로 함께 해주시기를 바라겠습니다.
An unsolvable problem of mankind, peace was only a dream that could not be accomplished. Religion, which was supposed to promote peace, became the root of wars because it was divided into many different groups. Also, there is no realistic law set in place to put an end to all wars in the world.
Эту инициативу не только надо приветствовать, но ее надо поддержать. Кроме проекта закона, надо еще и предусмотреть механизм его исполнения. Организация Объединенных Наций не имеет судебных органов, поэтому мы неоднократно говорили о том, что необходимо реформировать Организацию Объединенных Наций. Из каких соображений? Из тех, что сегодня Организация Объединенных Наций функционально не отвечает требованиям. Это я вам из опыта парламентаризма говорю, потому что я был членом Европарламента, был членом парламента России.
The most beautiful part of the peace agreement was, in fact, is the idea of putting the world leaders, experienced leaders, youth leaders, women leaders, and political leaders under the same umbrella, representing 130 countries.
So by signing the Treaty for Peace, I hope this sends a message to all the warring nations, all the problem areas in the world, UNO, heads of states, heads of religion, all parts of the world, that there's a peace treaty signed in Seoul, Korea in 2014 that will work towards peace.
The definite answer and evidence to make peace a reality is in heavenly culture, world peace, restoration of light. An event that no one has imagined before took place like a miracle of peace at the scene of the very first Warp Summit. The 12 spiritual leaders who are influential to many followers around the world represented each religion. Together with the 2 representatives who are the messengers of peace, they made an oath to become one within God. Catholicism, Anglicanism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, Shia Islam, Sunni Islam, Sikhism, Zoroastrianism, Baha'i, Jainism, Religion that split into hundreds of different religions has now become one under God through the Peace Advocate.
Unity of religion agreement. We pledge inside of God, all people of the world and the Peace Advocate to become as one under God through the unity of religion. We hereby acknowledge that we must be recreated